Ever wondered how to baffle a French soldier? Hand them a rifle and ask for a demonstration. Sounds like a cheap joke from a bygone era, right? But hold on to your berets, folks, as we dive into one of history's cheekiest clichés, the surrendering French. Welcome to the wild and wacky world of the internet, where memes and clichés reign supreme. But hold on to your berets, folks, because today we're tackling one of the biggest and, dare we say, most baguetteful myths out there. The notion that the French are a bunch of surrender monkeys. You see, this stereotype took flight after France's refusal to join the Iraq War, and it got its golden ticket to fame thanks to The Simpsons.
Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys!
But it's all a hilarious misunderstanding. In this video, we're about to drop some serious knowledge bombs and give you the inside scoop on why France isn't just any military player, it's a bona fide superpower. Time out for a cheeky reminder, give that like button a friendly tap, it's like a high five to us. Still on the sidelines, jump into the fun by subscribing and ringing the bell for your ticket to the French Fun Fair. Part 1, An History of Successes. If I wanted to compile an extensive list of French army victories and achievements over its 2,000-year history, it would take weeks. For 2 millennia, France has been a major power in Europe, and by extension in the world, contending with other rising powers such as Italy, the UK, and the German Empire. Let's focus on 2 significant military achievements that demonstrate the strength of the French army and the impact the country has had on an emerging Europe. Flashback to 1066, when the French weren't just about love letters and lattes. Enter William the Conqueror, a Viking descendant with a flair for drama and conquest. His most famous exploit? The Norman conquest of England, where he turned the English Channel into a runway for his fleet, swapping Viking longships for knights and castles. And voila, England got a taste of French feudal fashion, not to mention a brand new language infusion. After all, for 300 years, the official language in the UK was French, and even today, 2 of the most important English mottos are in French. Fast forward to the 19th century, where a little Corsican guy named Napoleon makes a big splash. Not just a master of the battlefield, but also a trendsetter in military fashion, Napoleon took Europe by storm, quite literally. At Austerlitz, he didn't just defeat his enemies, he gave them a masterclass in strategy, turning his Grande Armée into the envy of Europe. Meritocracy, organization, discipline, Napoleon had it all, except maybe a winter coat for Russia. Now, let's not forget the World Wars, where the French army showed its mettle, even in the face of adversity. Verdun, 1916, a testament to French tenacity, where they stood firm against the German tide for an agonizing 10 months. And though WOT threw them a curveball, the spirit of the French resistance, led by the indomitable Charles de Gaulle, kept the flame of liberty alive, proving that the French military spirit is as unbreakable as a stale baguette. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of French military history, proving that France's battlefield legacy is as formidable as their culinary prowess. Remember, never underestimate the power of a Frenchman with a plan. Intermission time, troop. Let's serenade that like button with a click. Subscribe and clink that bell for an all-access pass to the whimsical side of France. Part 2, from WW2 to Iraq, building a stereotype. The French and surrendering. A pairing more famous than wine and cheese thanks to decades of punchlines and pop culture pokes. But is it fair? Let's peel back the layers of this historical onion and get to the heart of the matter. 1940, Hitler's forces outmaneuver and outpace the French, capturing Paris in a whirlwind campaign. With one of the mightiest fleets at their disposal, the French faced a choice: fight from afar or face the music at home. History tells us of the chaos, the capitulation, and the crushing blow to French pride. Let's talk about France's little oopsie in WW2. Ever seen that meme where the Germans just casually sidestep the Maginot Line like it's the line at the bakery? Yeah, that one. Well, plot twist, the French actually planned it that way. Surprise! The Maginot Line wasn't a boo-boo, it was a clever ruse to funnel the Germans through Belgium. Please, after you, take the scenic route, said France with a sly wink. But here's the kicker. What the French didn't see coming, and honestly who did, was the Germans' need for speed. Blitzkrieg wasn't just a cool name for a heavy metal band, it was Germany's turbocharged war strategy. The French were expecting a leisurely stroll, but the Germans were sprinting, like they were late for a sale at the Lederhosen store. So yes, the Maginot Line did its job, sort of like a bouncer slowing down the crowd at a club. But when the crowd knows parkour, well, you get the picture. The Germans were over the fence and ordering a pint before France could even say sacre bleu. And the rest, as they say, is history. Fast forward to recent history. where French opposition to the Iraq War stirred old resentments, reinforcing an outdated trope. Yet as the dust settled, the foresight of leaders like Chirac and de Villepin was vindicated, challenging the narrative of the surrendering French. In the tapestry of history, the French military's story is woven with courage, complexity, and yes, moments of defeat. But to reduce it to a single thread of surrender is to overlook the rich mosaic of French valor and resilience. Remember, stereotypes may offer a chuckle, but the truth is always a more captivating tale. Part 3: Modern French Forces. Welcome to the world of French military prowess, where strength and sophistication go hand in hand. Imagine this. France, often characterized as a formidable force in the military arena, striding confidently onto the global stage with a robust defense budget totaling a staggering 39.2 billion. Yes, you read that correctly. France is not just a player, they're among the top spenders in NATO, proudly following in the footsteps of the heavyweights, the US and the UK. France boasts an impressive contingent of around 200,000 active personnel, backed by an additional 100,000 reserves and a formidable 28,000-strong paramilitary force. But that's not where their might ends. Their arsenal is equally impressive, with 290 nuclear warheads securely under their belt and a fleet of 4 ballistic missile submarines silently patrolling the depths. They're a force to be reckoned with on the world stage. Furthermore, France enjoys the privilege of a permanent seat on the UN Security Council, affording them significant influence in shaping global affairs. Whether it's their substantial presence in peacekeeping missions across distant lands or their unwavering commitment to countering terrorism, France showcases its military strength with over 30,000 troops deployed worldwide. Their weaponry, a dazzling array that includes Quad 200 aircraft soaring through the skies, 406 formidable tanks making a commanding presence, and a naval fleet with 126 vessels ready for any maritime challenge. Not to mention their impressive fleet of 10 satellites, providing invaluable surveillance and communication capabilities. So the next time you think of French military might, remember this. They're not just a military force, they're a high-tech, formidable, and fiercely independent power, always ready to make their mark on the world stage. And that's a wrap, my fellow truth seekers. The next time you stumble upon that cliché online, remember, you've now got the knowledge to be the White Knight of Truth. Defend the French army, a reliable US ally and one of America's oldest friends in the world. Let us know in the comments if you ever believed or encountered that surrendering cliché. And if you're hungry for more clichés to be smashed and truths to be uncovered, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the truth bell. Stay tuned, because we'll be back soon with even more fascinating French knowledge to satisfy your curious minds. Until then, au revoir and keep spreading the truth.